rolling countryside of northwest Leicestershire, Donington Park is the UK's oldest operational race circuit. Racing at the venue began more than 90 years ago on a circuit layout not too far off what we see today. The first ever It's hard to believe, but this is another segment of the circuit that was once surrounded by thick woodland. This corner is named after a mishap encountered in around 1880 by John Maclean, a gardener employed by Lord Donington, when his horse-drawn carriage collided with a large rock. The current circuit leaves the line of the old layout here. If you look straight ahead on the approach to the bend, the old Coppice Corner continued almost 150 metres further from this point and filtered between the old farmhouse building that still stands and barns that were demolished in the 1930s. This chicane may be named after Carl Fogarty, but it was another motorcycling legend that came unstuck here in wet conditions in 2009 as Valentino Rossi threw away victory in the MotoGP British Grand Prix, handing a surprise maiden win to Andrea Dovizioso. Ayrton Senna's famous Lap of the Gods was completed here in the 1993 Grand Prix with an overtake on his arch-rival Alain Prost at the end of the first lap in soaking wet conditions. This part of the circuit was added in time for the 1986 season, bringing the track up to the required length for the Grand Prix motorcycle racing. Another hard braking point. It was on the exit of this corner that Nigel Mansell collided with future F1 champion Fernando Alonso in the only two-seater Formula One car race known to have been held. Is the first corner on the Donington Park circuit, and a key area to get right. A high-speed bars follows this, so a good exit is all important after a big stomp on the brakes and a change down the gears. A superbike will use 48 degrees of lean angle through here. Curves are named after Fred Crane, Secretary of the Derby and District Motor Club and former TT rider. Almost unchanged in profile since then, the Crane curves are among the most iconic sections of the track in world motorsport. The original hairpin bend was about 50 meters. See those archways to the left? The cars and bikes actually raced through one of these in the 1930s. There was no way the modern circuit constructed in the 1970s could do this, so a new section of the track was built by Tom Woodcraft to avoid that peril, especially as a current superbike blasts through here at 140 miles per hour. After a high-speed blast all the way from Redgate, this is the second major braking point on the lap of the circuit, with a superbike taking this bend at around 70 miles per hour.
70? 70 miles per hour. 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 70 No thanks.
For a superbike, this is one of the hardest braking points of the lap, but the exit from this corner is crucial as another high-speed blast follows on the approach to the faulty misses. The end of the straight heading into Foggies is one of the quickest points of the circuit. Taron McKenzie hits around 165 miles per hour here on his McCann's Yamaha British Super per hour for the chicane itself.
Don't spin it, Giles.
The original Donington Park layout continued on for quite a way past this point, going through what is now the Formula E complex and towards Melbourne, before turning back on itself and returning to the current paddock area. The 1930s cars were capable of reaching speeds of over 170 miles per hour at this point.
Where does it go?
Goddard's Corner is named after Wheatcroft's friend Jumbo Goddard, who at the time of the circuit's reopening in 1977 owned the fastest Bentley in the world. A superbike will take this corner with a lean angle of 44 degrees, drop to 34 miles per hour, and then blast onto the power on exit as another lap of Donington Park is completed. And now you know more about the history of Donington Park circuit. We'll leave you. If you can look to the left, on the approach to the corner, you may spot a gate, and it's through here that the old circuit joins the new. Redgate in its old form was a sweeping right-hander, but the modern version is much tighter.
Is that it?
Superbike will blast through the Craner curves at speeds in excess of 130 miles per hour, while a GT car will be approaching 150 miles per hour. The high speeds and rapid changes of directions can be unsettling for almost any vehicle, so this is not only a high-speed section, but the Craner curves leads directly into the old hairpin, one high-speed challenge after another. With only a slight tap on the brakes and a quick couple of downshifts, this corner is notorious for catching the most experienced of racers. Nigel Mansell had a famous and sizable shunt here in the 1993 BTCC TOCA shootout. His Ford Mondeo got out of shape exiting the old hairpin, collided with Tiff Nadell's car and shot across the grass on the left, and collided with the wall directly under the bridge at around 120 miles per hour. Ouch.
Thank you. Cheers.